Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Jo Re Mi Fa So La Keto. I'm Jere and I do weekly vlogs and meal prep videos to share my keto health journey. Today we're going to review my results after being on keto for a full year. I'm going to review my story, where I started, what I did, the results, what I learned, and then also what I plan to do for 2022. So let's get this party started. Like many people, I have struggled with my weight all my life. I have been overweight and chubby since the 3rd grade. I'll post some pictures here of me throughout the years, but I swear I have been on a diet or some kind of program since middle school. We all know that middle school sucks anyway, but I had a hard time fitting in. I was constantly made fun of because of my weight. Since then, I have tried every diet you can possibly think of. I have tried counting calories, Weight Watchers, Atkins, Slimgenics. I did Whole30. I went vegetarian for a while. I've taken diet pills, drank diet shakes. I've hired personal trainers. I've listened to hypnosis tapes even, and I got the lap band surgery, which I regret. I did have some kind of success on all of these plans, but the problem for me was sustainability. I had a hard time sticking to any of these for more than 5, maybe 6 months max. On most of these, I felt hungry, I was tired, I felt deprived. Then in 2018, after I had my son, I heard about keto and I thought, well, let's give this one a try. I've tried everything else. After about the first month, I could just tell that this plan was different. Not only did I lose over 15 pounds that first month, but I felt great. My joints felt better. I had a lot of energy. I didn't feel deprived and I wasn't hungry, which I was hungry in every other plan that I had ever done. I was eating delicious food and I even felt smarter. I actually said that to my sister. She was doing keto at the time as well. And I was like, do you kind of feel smarter right now? And I wasn't tripping over my words. I was able to get my thoughts out, very consistently. And she said she felt the same way. That first year in 2018, I lost 50 pounds. I was pretty active as well. I was running 5Ks and 10Ks, and I maintained that weight loss for another year, and then 2020 hit. We all know what happened in 2020, but earlier in the year, I hurt my back, and so I had to stop running and take a break, and that didn't make me feel very good. And then right after that, the pandemic hit, and the politics and everything else that happened in that nightmare of a year, and I completely fell off plan, and I gained everything back, and then some. I completely ate my feelings, and I had fallen into what I now know as depression. So at the end of the year, I knew that I had to get back on plan and back on keto. That had been the only plan that had worked for me long term. So on January 4th of 2021, I restarted keto and posted my first ever YouTube video. And I'm even wearing the same shirt right now that I did in my first video. But I was really nervous and scared. I knew that I was gonna have to share a lot of really personal things. I was gonna have to show pictures and tell people my weight. I started last January at 241 pounds, and that's the biggest that I had ever been. In this picture, the sports bra that I'm wearing is not clasped in the back. I did kind of tuck them under, but I didn't have any sports bras that fit me at that time. My initial plan was to do my version of 75 hard because I knew that the actual 75 hard would be a little bit too much for me at that time. I really needed to just get back on a plan, and I didn't want to discourage myself. The road just seemed so long. I had to lose 70 pounds to get back to where I was in 2019. So the initial plan was to do 75 days straight, where every day I would eat keto, I would drink 80 ounces of water, I would work out for 1 hour, and I would read 20 pages of a nonfiction book, and then I would also vlog my progress every week. For my diet, I stayed under 20 net carbs a day. I intermittent fasted, so I didn't eat until about 1 to 2 every day. And then I ate 2 meals and a small bulletproof coffee every day. For my workouts, I mostly just walked. But when it got too cold outside, I did start doing some dance videos or other workout videos that I found on YouTube. I celebrated my 40th birthday in February and I stayed keto. My family was really supportive and threw me a party and made a whole bunch of keto food. I really got back on track and I lost 26.6 pounds in that 75 days, and that ended at the end of March. I was motivated and excited and I just felt so much better about myself. So after that, I needed a new plan. So because I was a runner previously, I decided I'm gonna start running again. So I scheduled a 5K to be done in June and ended up doing a virtual 5K with a few of you as well. And by the end of June, I had lost 45 pounds. I also took a week-long life success course in July and did a lot of self-discovery. There, I learned a lot about myself, how I don't like to ask for help. I try to do everything on my own, and dealt with some childhood issues about not feeling like I was enough, like I was never pretty enough, I was never smart enough, just not enough. I was always trying to prove myself to other people, and it just felt really good to figure out where these initial feelings stem from so I can finally deal with them. After that, I hit the 50-pound mark on August 4th, and after that, the pounds were still coming off, but just very slowly. In September, I got to see Autumn from Watch Autumn Keto, who is my favorite keto YouTuber, at Ketopalooza in Louisville, Kentucky. I had such a great time. I was able to meet a ton of keto friends and people that I had talked to online for a really long time. There, I also met for the first time Judith and Erica and Coach Bronson. I had heard about Clubhouse listening to Autumn, but I never downloaded the app. For those of you that don't know what Clubhouse is, it's an audio-based social media app. It's kind of like listening to a podcast, but you get to interact with the speakers. They can pull you up on the stage and you can speak and share. At Ketopalooza, Erica and Judith had me download the app and showed me how to join their clubs, Keto for the Soul and Keto Save My Life. So I started joining rooms on Clubhouse, and of course, the first room that I joined, Judith sees me and she's like, "Hooray!" So she pulls me up on stage and I have to talk, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know how this app works. I don't know what the etiquette is, but it was really fun, and I've come to love Clubhouse. If you have not joined it, I recommend you join it. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description below. Backtracking a little bit, I also met Coach Bronson at Ketopalooza. He was a speaker and he also led a class about functional fitness, and really it was about how strength training is to help your quality of life, make you be able to physically do the things you want to do in your life. I had known for some time that I wanted to start strength training, but I had no idea where to start and I didn't even know what to do. Luckily, Coach Bronson does have an app where you can follow exercises, and the app is called Apex Training System, and I do have links to both the beginner and the functional fitness programs in the description below. I started this program the last week of September, so I stopped running and started doing the app instead. So I initially started working out 3 days a week, and honestly, I can't say that I like doing the app exercises more than running, but I can definitely tell that I am getting stronger just by the exercises that I'm now able to do and the amount of weight that I'm able to lift while doing those exercises. Then in October, a lot of stuff happened. Too much stuff. First, we found out that my uncle, my mother's brother, passed away. Then my kids and my parents tested positive for COVID, and then my husband tested positive, and then I tested positive. Luckily, we all ended up okay. My parents did have a hard time for about a month, but the only symptoms I really had was I lost my sense of taste and smell for a couple of weeks. I think I was tired for a day and maybe was a little stuffy for a couple days. But I did stay keto throughout the whole time, and I did work out. I actually started a carnivore adventure, and it was pretty easy to stick to because, I couldn't taste anything. It didn't really matter what I ate. But yeah, we were basically quarantined for the entire month of October. I also started a new job in October. I left a company that I was with for 18 years and went into a new position at a new company in an industry that I'm not super familiar with. So far, it's really exciting. I really like the company and I like the people, but it was a big change. And you know how big changes can wreak havoc on your emotions and your routines. At the end of October, I hit the lowest weight of the year at 82.6 pounds. That's a loss of 58.4 pounds. Then in November, the craziness did not let up. On the keto side of things, I decided to go to Keto Friendsgiving in Memphis, Tennessee, hosted by Judith. And I had such a great time. I got to meet even more keto friends, this time from Clubhouse, and of course, get to see some of the WAC family. But on the personal side of things, my family was going through a lot. My grandma tested positive for COVID and unfortunately passed away the day after I got back from Keto Friendsgiving. She was just such a wonderful woman. She left behind a legacy of 10 kids, 26 grandkids, 56 great-grandkids, and 3 great-great-grandkids. Then about a week after that, I lost another uncle, my grandma's brother, to COVID as well. Early in December, there were 3 funerals in my family. My husband's grandma was also in the hospital, not COVID related, but we decided to take a trip to South Carolina to go visit her and have the kids come and meet and visit my husband's side of the family. My plan there was to stay keto. We even went to Texas Roadhouse so I could get steak, but it's those damn rolls. I would have said no, don't even bring them to the table, but my husband wanted some and my kids wanted some, and then of course I gave in, right? The damn honey cinnamon butter. I've had a really hard time staying keto after that trip. I would meal prep, sometimes eat my meals, sometimes not, sometimes go out and get takeout, of course not on plan takeout. I stopped working out and I was just really inconsistent, like not 100% on, probably more off than on. I was also not on plan during Christmas. I made keto biscuits and gravy, but then I still ate the tamales. I'm also sad to say about a week after we got back from South Carolina, my husband's grandma also passed away. So that makes 4 funerals in December. So I struggled big time in December and I only really got back 100% on plan this week. I was scared to hop on that scale because I did not want to see what it said. But here goes, my final weight for the year is 189.6 pounds. That's a loss of 51.4 pounds total. And here is my comparison picture. Wow, it's just a huge difference. I unfortunately did not take measurements when I started, which kind of sucks because I would have loved to see those numbers. So for those of you just starting out now, take the measurements, take the pictures. I know you're gonna hate them now, but you're gonna love looking back at them later. There'll be motivation and you can see how far you've gotten. I learned so much about myself this year. I learned about how I view myself and where those issues came from. I learned that I am very much an emotional eater. You know, with the grief and the sadness and everything, I turn to food for comfort and I tend to eat instead of dealing with those emotions. Now I just have to figure out other ways to deal with those feelings. A couple of people have mentioned meditation and of course exercise, but let me know in the comments, do you have any ideas of other ways that I can deal with emotions other than stuffing my face with pizza? But this year has really just been more mental than anything. You really just have to put yourself in the right mindset and put yourself around good people. If you are not a part of any of the online keto communities, I highly recommend that you join one or a few. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people that can support you throughout your journey is just so important. I will say there are some toxic keto communities out there with a lot of keto police, but I would recommend you join Watch Autumn Keto's Facebook group. I believe it's called WAC Daily Keto Updates. Also, Two Crazy Ketos Family has a very active Facebook group, And then join Clubhouse, Keto for the Soul, Keto Saved My Life. There's a lot of different clubs in there that you can join. I'll go ahead and post links to all of these in the description below. But right now, I may not be at the lowest I have been all year, but I am damn sure lower than I was last year. I mean, 50 pounds lost. That's awesome. So the last thing I want to talk about is my plan for this year in 2022. I am pretty close to getting back to where I started. In 2019, my lowest was 170, but I really don't want to have a number on a scale be my goal. For me, the best thing to do is set short-term goals that will help me get to my long-term goal, which is to be healthy and active for my kids. I just want to be here as long as possible for them. I have been fortunate enough to not really have any underlying medical issues. I've never taken medications for anything or anything like that. I would say maybe like, bad joints, being really tired. Those are the things that I used to have before keto. Now I just feel so much better, and all of those things are no longer issues. But I'm getting off track. My first goal right now is to just get back on plan, just like I did last year when I started keto. But what is that plan? First, it's to keep my diet keto, drink at least 64 ounces of water a day, which is a half a gallon, and then to work out for 4 days every week. One of my longer term goals, to be honest, would be to get a tummy tuck and maybe even get my arms done. But I don't think I have the money or the PTO in my new job to do that this year. So that might be a next year goal. But my first milestone this year is gonna be Keto Salt Lake. I wanna buy a new dress in a smaller size that I can wear at Keto Salt Lake. I haven't even bought my tickets yet. I don't even think I've talked to my husband about me going to this thing. But it's something that I definitely wanna do. I think waiting until September or another event is just gonna be way too long. For me, a new dress is motivation, and this event takes place in April, so I think that's plenty of time. My first event was initially going to be a work event at the end of this month, but that event is now going to be virtual, so I don't need a dress for that one. That means that I'm not going to Atlanta, which kind of sucks because I was planning on meeting a few of you, some of my keto friends in Atlanta for lunch. But anyway, what do you think? What are some of your ideas for short-term goals? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, well that's all that I have for today. I'm working on a video sharing my top 10 tips when starting keto, so please make sure to subscribe and hit the little bell icon to get a notification when I post that video, or really any video. Thank you for watching, and remember, difficult roads often lead to beautiful places. I'll see you next time. Bye.